We lost Ole Anderson and Virgil, Soul Train Jones, Curly,
Mike Jones,
Vincent.
Vincent. Yeah. I'm going to talk about Ole first because Ole means more to me. I know you are more of a Virgil guy.
I'm not picking either one of these people their lives, goddammit.
No, it's absolutely. We're drafting the dead. So I'm taking Ole Anderson. He is one of the people who cemented my belief in wrestling. When I was a kid, there were guys that people could point to and go, oh, that shit looks fake. Nobody ever accused Ole Anderson of looking fake. He looked like that big bruiser at a truck stop that was going to punch you in the face and whoop your ass, and there was nothing you could do about it. To me, he legitimized what I was watching.
I remember when they kicked Sting out of Horseman, it was Ole who really cut the promo on Sting and said, you're not a horseman, and if we see you around again, you're not going to be so lucky. And it was just the way Ole did it. It was so like nasty, but it felt so real. And I remember, you remember those times when you're a kid where you're like embarrassed, or, you feel that thing in your gut where you're embarrassed and you're humiliated, you don't know how to react. Ole made me feel that way for Sting. Like, I thought this man's legitimately being kicked out of his group, and I was sad for him.
If you look back at some of the great promos of all time, especially the early Horsemen, Iron was always fantastic, obviously, but Ole always cut those legit, intense, whether it was when he was leaving the Horsemen talking about his son, whether it was warning Dusty Rhodes, even in Georgia Championship Wrestling, if you want to go back to Georgia Championship Wrestling, and when he stood up for the announcers when Rowdy Piper went absolutely berserk, he was one of those intense individuals that what he was saying was always real. And he didn't give you that feeling of, well, this is complete bullshit. And speaking of that, let's go to Virgil.
Virgil, listen, Curly Bill, Shane, we could joke around that stuff, but there was a point as Virgil when he was doing the bodyguard for the $1 Million Man. That's when he was probably his most legit, because he had the physique and he looked like a badass. He had the stoic, face about him. And that was definitely, I would say, his most successful run.
So one of the misses that the WWE had in that time period was, if you go back to when it was Ted DiBiase and they finally had the match with Ted DiBiase and Virgil, there's a moment there where he takes out Ted DiBiase and he looks to the crowd and he turns this way and he turns that way, and the crowd is going absolutely berserk for him. They had a chance to make him into something. The problem is as much as we love that character of Virgil and we supported him
in the
ring, he just could not deliver what they needed to continue to motivate him and make him a bigger star. Ted DiBiase was able to get it out of him, but Ted DiBiase is one of the greatest workers of all time. Now, I will tell you, we've had interactions with Virgil since then. Always a nice guy. Very few people in this world are willing to work for an Olive Garden gift card, but very sweet man, always kind. I don't care. I know a lot of people have said negative things, but to me, he was always great.
He's definitely one of those characters we're always going to remember. And I think he definitely made the most out of his career.
Well, and that's the opposite of Ole Anderson. Ole Anderson, as much as I was a huge fan and loved the guy's wrestling style, he's remembered, unfortunately, as a complete asshole. So even by the people that worked with him. So, I mean, even Ric Flair came out this week and he's like, yes, I'm sad to hear about the passing of Ole Anderson. I wouldn't have been who I was without him, even though we've had the differences that we have. That's a nice way of saying you were an asshole to me, but hey, I wouldn't have been where I was if it wasn't for you.